Yo,
Combustion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. They're running the game with my team making plays. Talking 80, my G, Swan and Jules in this place. Surrounded by dogs, keep the quarterback safe. I'm the one with the plans, they gon' do what I say. The game is not over, we don't celebrate. In the end zone, we don't got no time in the wait. H-time run down, we don't premeditate. We just go and get to it, we got them on skates. If the game going to overtime, kicking the overdrive, we gon' be first at the finish line. Play looking full, but I finish mine. Can I get second? We gon' line up like it's dinner time. We put in work till we get us a ring. Super Bowl season, we running the scene. H-time the home of the realest that breathe. Keep your face down when you talk to the king. What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the H-Town Rundown. This is your boy AD. I got a myriad of people in the building. We got my three co-hosts. We got Auntie Swan, we got Mike G, we got Mr. Aquarius, aka Jules in the building. We got Texans on 2. Texans on 3. Texans on 3 in the building. We got Killer Cal and Patton in the building from Texas on 3. How's everybody doing on this wonderful, wonderful Monday night?
Excellent, excellent.
Feeling great.
I'm
I
here.
got me an OC.
We're swarming. Beautiful day in the neighborhood, man. Beautiful day on Kirby.
Yes.
Hey, as y'all know, I guess it ain't breaking news. Houston Texans have hired an offensive coordinator finally. After us talking about it on Friday, they have finally pulled the trigger and have hired Nick Caley as the offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans going into the 2025 season. I just want to get everybody's initial thoughts, and then we'll talk about it more in depth about what the hire means. What does it, do for CJ? What does it do for the offense? What should we expect? And all of those things going forward. But I'll start with Auntie Swan about her thoughts on the hire.
I'm very excited. He was one of 3 of the candidates that I liked. I like the fact that he does bring experience in the sense of working with tight ends. I know he has not developed anybody, but at least I know he knows what to do with them. I know he comes from the Patriots, but he also spent some time with the genius McVay. Um, but the biggest thing is that we're trying something different. So I'm excited to see how CJ and offense grows. Um, so at this point, and we can get more in depth later on, but next up.
What about you, Mike?
Yeah, it's kind of exciting to get one of those Sean McVay disciples. No, obviously,
Disciple.
you knew I was going to say that. It helps. Obviously, he has a couple years experience with Sean McVay. Obviously, he spent most of his time in New England. Also went to the same, as we brought up on the last show, he went to the same school as both Nick Caserio and our special teams coordinator. So, that definitely played a role. Um, but hey, he was the Rams tight ends coach and passing game coordinator. So at least he's got that level of experience on top of his time in New England. Um, it's kind of a different branch of the same tree as far as, with that McVay experience. And clearly, based off the uh, candidates that the Texans interviewed, we want to keep a similar scheme with similar concepts, but hopefully more in-game adjustments and fewer condensed formations, so we can kind of take advantage of the plethora of weapons we have on offense.
For sure. What you got, Mr. Aquarius?
Well, it's a good hire. I mean, out of all of the non-experienced OCs out there that could have been hired, I think he is the best, according to all the media outlets and the people who do this on a professional level. So he was the most has the hottest name and the most talked about candidate, also candidate with no experience. Um, I think like it was said before, he has the experience. He worked his way up from a grad student, and he's worked himself up. So he has the knowledge of teaching and growing to be where he to be now. We just gotta see where his schemes come from, the combination of his experience from the Patriots and the Rams, and working under some stellar OCs he worked with in the past couple years to see where it's going. He is a slight upgrade over Bobby. I give him that. Just to see what we're gonna do with this team going forward and how he constructs his staff, and we see we'll go from there.
No more crash outs, man. What you got, Killer Cow?
Man, I'm just glad it's over with. Like it was so many crash outs, and I had to read that long dissertation that Swan put on the chat, and I read it all, and I agree with it. But I feel like I was in high school again reading that. I was like, damn, I read a whole essay, thesis paper, and all. But it was great,
Well,
man.
L made a straight D up in English.
Hey, I was good English. But hey, man, I like it. I think a lot of people was too fixated on who called plays, who had experience. You only get the experience if you only get the opportunity. Um, Kyle Shanahan was a quarterback coach for 1 year with the Texans, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe been two, but I think it was one. And the very next year, Kubiak had him calling. He was offense coordinator, whether he was calling plays or not, but he held the title. Now people want to say, well, that's Shanahan. Just because you carry the last name don't mean you can do it, but everybody needs an opportunity. So I like the fact that he's been in multiple systems. So he's not going to be married to just one particular ideology. Hopefully he can pull from both of them and create something, him sitting down with CJ and, come up with some magic, man. So I'm look, I trust them boys over there in the decision that they make, and we just got to wait and see what happens, man. So I'm gonna pass the mic.
What you got, man?
Lord have mercy. All right. Well, I'm gonna start with this, man. No, I'm not happy. Um, as you all know, I was pounding the table for Doug, but I have to trust what D'Amico and then the guys on Kirby are doing, and we don't know exactly what he's gonna bring. We don't know his philosophy. We just know he's from the Rams. Had some time in New England when the Broncos was over there. As of right now, all we can really do is just kind of pinpoint and assume what he's going to bring to the team. Uh, I'm going into this season with my expectations low because I don't know what I'm going to see. I would be able to give you a better assessment after the preseason is conducted. Maybe after week 3 of the regular season. Let me see what's really going on. A lot of moving parts have to take place in order for him to figure out to get what he wants to get done as far as his offense go. Would they give him the full control of the offense? Don't know. Is he going to bring his own staff in? Is he
Who
going to
else
keep
gonna
some of the
get
guys that's still there?
who else gonna control of it? It's only him.
I mean, we
He,
don't.
he,
That's the thing. Like I'm finna give my Ferrari to a kid, 18-year-old kid, brand
Yeah,
new
but
Ferrari.
the other guy don't know how to drive a Ferrari at all.
I mean,
So,
it's man. Like I have to be optimistic overall. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
yes,
have
he
to
do.
be. Like we as a fan base as a whole have to be optimistic. Right? I don't mean to be a David Downer because I really want a Doug Peterson. But like, as Cal was saying,
David the Texan.
huh?
You can be there like David the Texan.
Hey man, I'm gonna say this though. I do. If I can't replace one expectation, I feel like the element of surprise is going to help us in year 3 or what year 1 with him. But I want to see what year 2 looks like once the league is kind of caught up to what it is you're trying to do.
Hold on. Dre said Bobby didn't know how to get the Ferrari out of first gear.
He probably didn't know how to cut it on.
hey,
Um,
Hey, Patton, what if that first year you saying see it in year two? What if this year we in the Super Bowl?
Yeah, I mean, I want to go to the Super Bowl every year. I
Yeah,
want to
but I'm
go to the
saying,
Super Bowl with
you
Head Cutler.
Super Bowl.
Oh, hold up, hold up, hold up. Wait a
Hold,
minute.
hold up, not you.
Drum roll, please.
Look,
Is that
look, about to
is
get a.
that
Yeah,
is that who I
you.
think it is?
Oh, oh, I see, I see.
Is that who I think it is?
Yes, it is.
Mm-mm-mm.
Infamous.
We about to talk some algebra tonight. What we doing?
Nah, man,
I got English, so you know.
we cranking this thing. We way past pre-algebra, man. It's time to go into
What,
statistics.
what we doing? Tree and
Hey,
trigonometry. What we doing, man?
Hey, man,
hey.
yeah. Go ahead, Ad. What's up,
I
Nate?
said we talking about the OC high. I just want to get your initial thoughts before we kind of break it down.
Hey, man. I had already said I wanted somebody with some head coaching experience, man, and you know, I'm kind of I'm kind of glad that it's not off that Shanahan tree, but I'm thinking that shit. I ain't crazy about it. I ain't gonna lie to you, but
Hmm.
it's I
Don't
was
do it.
hoping they went in a different direction, man. Just because we had that experience with Slowick ass, man, and another dude that haven't called plays before, and I was on the radio last week. Sometimes said I need to know if Kaylee ass was in the building when Jack Easterby ass was over there with them New England Patriots,
If he
man.
look,
He
if he was
was.
there with Nick Casario,
He was.
yes, he was.
He was.
Yeah, so
He won
so
the Super Bowl in 2016
so
and 2019. Well,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
2017 and 2019 or whatever. He got two Super Bowls, so he was there with him.
What up,
Yeah,
Chris?
he was there with him.
I was trying to leave all them fucking rodents where they was, man, and they're like, cause once they start infesting, man. So I just got to believe D'Amico know what he doing, man. I'm gonna trust it
Hey,
until the first time that fucker run the stretch play, man. That don't make no sense.
hold on, Larry. So you saying you want to drain the swamp?
Hey man, yeah, the swamp that swamp definitely needs to be drained along with that other orange. But never mind. But look, man, I understand that they have to get some continuity, man. But they haven't said nothing about what the plan is for Gerard, man, and so it's gonna be interesting to see how this all play out, man, and who they gonna add at O line. That's gonna be another key part to it, man. So
Yep.
I'm gonna go in it with an open mind, man, just because I need this third year CJ Stroud to be elite, man.
Yeah.
Cause,
Well, I'm.
cause,
I'm. I'm
if we gonna give him $70 million after that third year, man, this got to be a elite year, man.
so, do you think they should have to? Do you think he should have to keep Gerard on the staff?
I don't think you should have to keep anybody.
Okay.
I think that the last time, yeah, y'all remember how this shit went down. The last time they was asking, Deshaun wanted a little more input on the whole coaching thing or whatever, and we saw all that shit blow up to being massage parlors and trades and all kind of other shit. And I just don't think that you can. They had to have some buy-in from CJ to make this move, man, because you are literally dealing with your franchise quarterback for the next 10 years.
Well,
And
I
so,
get the buy-in, but I wouldn't want to coddle CJ. I wouldn't want to get somebody he hand put because I need him to be coached up, and I need him to be a
it's
little uncomfortable going forward because I think he's been a little comfortable going forward.
but I don't think it's coddling. I think it's just we living in a day and age, man, that these kind of things can spiral out of control and become something bigger than what they're supposed to be.
Mm.
And my thing is that after this past season and the struggles that he had, that shit needs to be calmed down over there on Kirby, man. And I just think that you got we ain't dealing with 3 years, $3 million no more, man. You dealing with 5 years, $499 million.
Hmm.
So so you got to be able to say we doing this, man, because we believe that you're the cornerstone to this franchise. So that's why I'm gonna keep an open mind on it, man. I still believe D'Amico has more power than Nick does. So D'Amico had to have signed off on it.
Well, yeah, I
And
agree. I agree. He signed off on it, but I still think that this is a Nick Casario kind guy, just
Yeah, for sure.
Like Bobby
So
was when the first time go around.
so basically, what Jules is saying is that D'Amico had his choice the first time around, and the shit didn't work, and they playing they tag team and say, well, you your decision making ain't all that great when it's hiring OCs, so let me give it my try. And they went ahead and hired Nick Caley.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, basically, it's the cycle repeat itself, but this time the GM had his choice what he wanted, and then they let everybody else come in and interview to try to sway him off their choice, and just like Bobby did when he got here, he said, Bobby's my guy. You can interview anybody else you want to, but I really want my guy to come here," and that's how it came.
so you think they went through all the interviews to let D'Amico see all those guys and then to try to convince Nick to come off his guy. That's what you're saying?
I believe so. That's why I think Brian. I think the last one, Brian Johnson, was the last one that he probably could have been okay with, but he said, "Okay, Nick, we gonna if he's the best non-experienced OC head coach that we have, we can roll with him, and I'm gonna rely with you. We're gonna roll with you."
Well, I can see that, man, but I, I still believe the power dynamic is still D'Amico Ryan's over Nick. But it's I don't know, man. I just think that this hiring process with this OC, man, it's gonna take a lot of convincing for a lot of folks, man. And if he comes in, I'll go a little bit further. Y'all remember like this was early in the season, and they asked C.J. Stroud who one of his favorite quarterbacks in the league was.
It's Stafford.
Yeah, and he said it was Matt Stafford, right?
Hmm.
And so
Stafford, not
I
Larry.
have what's up?
I say Matt Stafford, not Larry Stafford.
Matt Stafford.
You might as well. We could be the same, but I don't have that kind of bread though. But he was saying, so if I got to believe CJ talked to Stafford, right? I mean that would be you would have to do your
So
due diligence and have that conversation, right?
No, I mean, of course,
so
he had to have a conversation with the coach and Stafford because he, like you said, publicly for years, he's always said that Stafford is his top five quarterback of all time, and he goes to bat for that. And the second
Yeah,
thing is the time he was in New England, and my original top guy in December was Josh McDaniels with
damn,
Tom
that boy
Brady.
Amen is a fool.
So I like the fact that those two quarterbacks are closer to and similar to CJ's talent level and body type and arm strength and quarterback level. That's why I can see the connection of where they would go with this situation.
So
mm,
real quick, I want to say this. Retreat here. Say I disagree with reports. I disagree because reports say Nico was the one doing the interviews. Let me say this. Reports was saying that Chip Kelly didn't wanna coach in the NFL no more.
Right. He was on recruiting trail,
Reports
remember?
reports was saying a whole bunch of other bullshit. So, I ain't listening to reports because when it comes to the Houston Texans, Nick Casario keeps the lid tight
yeah.
and ain't letting nothing came out about this. But I disagree with the point about the whole Matthews. Like I understand we trying to put ties, like really tie tight ties to Nick Caley and the Rams and everything. I know he was there 2 years, but Nick Caley interviewed for this damn job 2 years ago.
Yeah.
So Nick Caley
It's a Casero guy.
is a Casario guy. Damn, Rockets man.
bro,
Apologize.
can you focus on the Texans a little bit? I
Hey
know
man,
you.
this is a great game right
I
now with
got
the
it.
Houston
Well,
Rockets.
no, well, you watch the
Hey,
game. Me and the rest of the crew. We'll talk about the OC over here. Okay.
But Nick Haley to me
Is a Nick
He's a Nick
Nick
Casario
guy.
guy.
Casario
Yeah,
guy,
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
hands
he
down.
did play with D'Amico, but given his history, he's definitely a Casario guy.
So, are y'all saying that due to D'Amico failing with Bobby Sloyd, Nick stepped in and hired his guy? Is that
No,
what y'all saying?
that's when I'm not saying that. I'm saying this is Nick's number one guy. Previous, because he interviewed last time and allowed the process to say, "Hey, I feel strongly about this guy." You can tell he's no, and Nick sold his guy just like to me.
Hmm.
D'Amico sold Bobby.
hmm
And then you allow the process to go through. Well, we're gonna interview everybody else, and you got your guy who you after the process, and Chip Kelly didn't going to come here, whatever you want to do. If you had your guy, I got my guy, and let's really just buckle down to see who's best going on. And maybe Nick had a very good conversation. Well, I want to keep the verbiage close enough from the Shanahan tree to the McVay tree, where there's enough verbiage where we don't have to restart the offense or change the way we do concept, where it's a similar uh, um, play calling formation here, so we don't have to reset the whole program. If you bring in somebody else, like my third favorite, I had a couple favorites, like a Brian Johnson, who's going to
hmm
change the whole thing, and then you got the Packers coach, he might change a little thing, but it's a situation where he didn't have to change so much that it was a common understand. Okay, this is the guy we're gonna go with. Let's roll with it. I don't
So
blame
who?
because he failed. I just think that this is the guy he wanted, and let's go through the process.
So
So
you
who
don't
do
think
y'all
Bobby
think?
failed?
Hmm?
You don't think Bobby failed?
Well, I'll be honest. I didn't want Bobby in the first place.
Yep.
Okay.
Let's be honest. I didn't. I don't think Bobby first, and I don't not. And I'm gonna say this because I've said for so long. Bobby didn't fail. What happened is with coaches being propped up too fast for a
Hmm.
job he wasn't ready for.
hmm
And I've said this on last Friday. I said 2 Friday ago. A lot of these hot shot coordinators or passing coordinators, quarterback coaches, they are great hires for offensive minded head coach to be an OC so they can learn to call the play and call games under that situation. When you have these hot shot play callers, I mean passing coordinators, run coordinators, and you give him the whole offense when he has not done it or doesn't have any mentorships on top of him, and you have a defensive guy with all he knows is defensive ball to buy. There's no there's no mentorship that he can give the offense because he don't know offense much. So I really have an issue with the media and scouts and other people promoting these guys ahead of time, not let them learn how to coach up and get better and promote and move up. Everybody, and I'm gonna spell this one thing. I'm gonna go. Everybody keeps saying McVay, McVay, McVay. Do you know that McVay stayed 3 years under Mike Shanahan before he was a head coach? He did not go from tight end coach to the Rams. He worked his way up all the way up to where he had 2 or 3 years under an offensive minded head coach who can train him, teach him, coach him up, say that what I do, this is what I've done, figure it out. And then after you have my 2 3 years of leadership, then you go into the world because I've coached you up. It's them like from high school to college. People nowadays, and I'm got my soapbox, want to get these hot names because he knows McVay or he was LSU head there, blah blah blah. No, go from middle school to college and think you're ready for it. It's a progression of learning knowledge of how to coach. The number one of coaching is still teaching. You
Yeah.
can't skip
I
the
agree.
process.
But
Right.
but that's also a philosophy according to him that he believes in.
I'm just saying in general. And
Oh,
that's
okay.
why the question was I think Bobby failed. I don't think Bobby failed. I think Bobby was not ready for the job that was given to him. Understand that we as an organization had a rookie head coach, a rookie offense coordinator, a rookie center, and a rookie quarterback.
First time for everything, huh?
First for everything, and thinking that, and everybody wants to say regression. I promise I'm gonna stop. It's not regression. It's pretty much CJ's talent. If you take his numbers and how he does the situation, his numbers are the same, basically the same. It's just the people figured them out. and Bobby not knowing how to change his philosophy because all he knew was passing situations or running game with Kyle Shanahan.
Yeah,
That's all he knew. He has nothing to draw from. He has nobody to say, "Hey, what can I do?" Because he is the head guy on the offense. There's nobody else he can talk to. There's
right.
nobody that can mentor Bobby. As much as I didn't like Bobby, I don't think Bobby failed because Bobby didn't have the right setup to succeed.
So this
I
is
do think
something
he
that
failed. Oh, I do think he failed in this sense. Pride, being
mm,
stubborn, and that's why I feel like that's where the failure came at. Not the mistakes, but the unwillingness to even try to think of doing something else, and you didn't do it until the damn playoff game.
Right.
Well,
But what else can he draw from to change?
no, no, no.
Who else?
But he did.
Who else
But
he
he
go to say,
did.
hey,
But he
what should I change? What can I?
no,
Who can he set on the staff?
no,
Nick.
no. His thing is, and maybe it's just me listening to him in pressers. There was a certain sense of arrogance when folks were asking him questions, making suggestions, blah 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 blah.
so
And to me, if you attempted something different in the playoff games, why didn't you do it before? It's like, light bulb came on. We're not going to be able to do this. We're going to have to run more gap scheme. I mean, it was the fact that you waited to the last minute to think to make to even attempt. It's the attempt. So that's me. So that's why I feel like the failure part was not because
so one y'all pissing me off because y'all back talking about Bobby. Bobby gone.
But somebody asked a question. I answered the question, sir. I'm sorry. I just
um
want to tangent. Okay.
yeah. So second thing is just the setup. Since we're talking about Bobby, the setup needs to be the same for Nick Cayley, and that's why these next few moves that they make are going to be very important as far as what it comes to the staff. Is the support system that Nick Cayley is going to have, which Bobby Slowick did not have. Um, I think I was very clear when we were in the process of hiring an OC after we hired D'Amico that we needed to have somebody with veteran experience. And my choice at the time was Cliff Kingsbury because he had interviewed for the position.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you weren't going to hire Cliff Kingsbury as your OC, at least bring him in as assistant head coach, something like that, an advisor role, so that he can guide Bobby into what he needs to do. And there was a lot of backlash because people had a certain taste in their mouth about Cliff Kingsbury because of what he did in Arizona. But at the end of the day, Cliff Kingsbury is a veteran coach, a veteran offensive play caller, and he would be able to help whoever the OC was. So some people blame John McClain for that because John McClain spilled the beans and all of that stuff. But the same scenario and same situation needs to happen with Nick Cayley. Like you have to have a veteran coach, and it can't be no goddamn Bill Lazor.
Mm.
And it can't be no Ben McDaniels. It can't be none of that bullshit that you got on the offensive staff right now. You have to have a veteran play caller in the building. Pull somebody from somewhere. Pull a rabbit
Mm.
out your hat from somewhere.
I agree, and you 100% were banging the table for Kingsbury. But who out there it would be an option for that type of role? Like, does
Yeah,
anyone come to
exactly.
mind?
Now they all most of the veteran offensive play callers, they all tied up already.
Unless you look at somebody, you pull somebody
You
Like
had
a Doug
dudes out there.
Peterson or
like
something?
an older no, because the systems clash. So what you would do is you find an older coach who's coached this system that's retired or been out of the game for a few years, and you bring them in.
give me some names,
Um,
And please don't put Gary Kubiak name out here. I'm so
please.
no,
I'm
tired of
so
hearing.
sick of
uh,
yes. Please get off
no,
Yeah,
my.
don't.
it's not Gary Kubiak
Yeah.
because Gary Kubiak is probably gonna be in New Orleans with Clint.
Clint
Clint
left New
ain't in New
Orleans.
He's
Orleans.
Seattle.
I mean,
Or
whatever, one of them,
Seattle, yeah.
you
whatever. He
got you
ain't.
got one in Seattle and you got another one where
And
in
so Dre put up Darrell Bevel as one.
Yeah.
Um,
He might go
it's,
to Carol. I'm not Carolina. He might end up going to Vegas though, because of ties
No,
with
you ain't
Pete
want him.
Carroll.
no, he got passed over
I
John.
do.
They
Yeah.
passed
Yeah,
him up for Chip.
Chip on him.
Any potential staff, yeah. And that's the thing. I think they're the assistant offensive line coach when we're talking about staff. Is Cromer. His dad, I think his dad is with the Buffalo Bills right now. But he would be one that I would, definitely want to bring on the staff. And this would be a total clusterfuck if you sit up here and you hire Nick Caley and you keep a Ben McDaniels and you keep a Danny Barrett and you keep whoever hell what is his name Popovich as your offensive line coach and you
Yeah.
keep all of these guys and you keep the whole same staff. To me, it's just a slap in the face. First of all, it's a slap in the face to Nick Caley, and then it's a slap in the face to the fans because you're saying that Bobby was the sole reason, and that's not the case.
Right.
Can I
Which is
say
the same.
something? Can I say something about the Popovich thing? He might actually want to stay in the O line coach. You do know they were together. No, they were together in New England. So
And
I'm
I'm
just putting it out
And
there.
that's the problem that you have, and
right,
you're not interviewing the best guys. You keeping guys because of connections.
right, and
But I
so
don't know. But here's my thing: is
Can't keep your
I,
homeboys
I,
around
I
You
also.
put
can't
a
keep your
tweet.
homeboys.
I put a tweet out.
I mean,
I put a tweet out the day was it yesterday, or the day before. I said relationships matter.
everywhere.
Results matter more.
Right.
Hmm.
So at the end of the day, Popovich was our offensive line coach last year.
If you say so.
Period. People want to say Chris Strausser and put it on Chris Strausser. According to sources and everything that we've heard on the H-Town Rundown, Chris Strausser was just an offensive line coach in name only.
Hmm.
He
Right.
was hands off with the coaching. It was Popovich's, I can't even say that with the plural. It was Popovich's show. And look what he produced out there far as
Yeah,
the
so
offense.
why would they bring that hoe back then, man?
Exactly.
And as
So
I'm saying is,
it's yeah, it's a lot that needs to go on. And then going back to Dre say, y'all think they're gonna let Kaylee actually? I hope the hell they do.
Yeah, I hope they do, man. Because
I
that's
hope
that's the
the
whole
hell
that's
they
the whole
do.
point of being an OC.
So yeah,
I
the
don't think he
inside,
took the
the
job if
inside.
he don't have a say because he could. He had other offers. The Jets wanted him.
So
Uh,
look at all of those the other two situations that he had offers from. Those all are cluster. I'm gonna say that
yeah,
word again.
he
Those are
could have
cluster
stayed where he was because
situations.
he was a hot name previously.
But he wasn't going to be. But he was never. It was going to be forever and a day before he even got an option to be an OC.
We don't
Because
know.
Mike LaFleur, the only way he would be OC is if Mike LaFleur would have taken a head coaching job,
And he didn't get no interviews, or
and he ain't getting
very little
nobody even
interviews.
looking his way. So he would have been the tight end coach there forever.
Okay,
Um,
whether it was a cluster or not, he still had offered opportunity. So
people don't want the damn New Orleans Saints head coaching job.
No.
no, that's
So
Kellen
why?
Moore.
So
That's what.
why
No,
would
that's
so?
not. No, that's Kellen
I
Moore's
understand
job.
that. I understand that it's killing more going forward or whatever. But at the end of the day, this is like they fifth or sixth try for a head coach. Kellen Moore was the honorable mention on their list of candidates.
He the
Okay.
afterthought.
He's the afterthought. So, like Larry said, he's the afterthought. So it's just like same thing with offensive coordinator positions or any coaching position. Like if you have an opportunity to pick and choose, I'm not going to no situation where I'm gonna get fired the next year.
Exactly.
Which is why he didn't go to New England last year.
Right.
Because he knew they didn't want Gerard Mayo. They didn't want New England didn't want Gerard Mayo, but they had it was already a what they call it a
I'm gonna
Coach and
tell you.
wait.
Mm-hmm.
no give me that give me the
Lame
political
duck,
term. No,
lame,
give me the political term. It was
lame
Under
duck.
under the table deal.
DEI hire.
no hell no.
Oh nah,
Figurehead?
that,
Like
that,
what
that
you
was
Lame
mean?
duck.
Ron Johnson.
I'm about to call it Facebook. What is it called?
You talking
Shit,
about a
somebody in
lame
the
duck?
chat help me out.
I'm
Ain't nobody.
Somebody,
trying.
god damn it, y'all know what I'm talking about. When you do a quid pro quo,
Oh,
it
okay.
was a quid pro quo.
Oh, well, goddamn, AD.
Shit,
Whoa.
That's
I'm
basic as
What do
struggling.
you
hell.
mean? What do you mean by that?
Like it was already like a handshake deal between Belichick, because Belichick wanted Gerard to succeed him.
No, it wasn't. That's not true.
Swan, are you in the New England Patriots organization?
I'm
Or you
telling.
listen? Or you
Excuse
talking
me.
to people? 'Cause
It's
I'm
public.
telling you
No,
this.
it's
I'm telling
public.
you this. I'm telling you this because I know some things that you may not know.
And I know some you may not know.
Okay,
But damn, y'all
What?
quit knowing what y'all don't know and
because
tell
I
us what y'all
know
do know.
that it was a. I know for a fact that it was a handshake deal,
It
and
wasn't a
that's
handshake deal. It was in the damn contract when they kept him that he was going to be the heir apparent,
Swan.
and
But why
that was how they held off.
why we going back and forth when we saying the same? It don't really
No, I'm
matter if
saying is
it.
that it wasn't a Bill thing. It was an actual Robert Kraft thing.
Okay. Regardless of the fact, because we getting
Getting off
like
target.
the semantic shit. I'm past the semantic shit at this point. It's just the whole point that they didn't want the Patriots did not want freaking Gerard Mayo as the head coach
Well,
It
that's
was
obvious because they got rid of his ass after a
as soon
year.
as they could.
it was Byron remorse once the
Yeah, they
opportunity
wanted
actually
him.
got there.
They just didn't think he would do as bad as he did.
They
So
knew what. Hey, didn't they hire? What wasn't Vrabel fired before Mayo was hired?
yeah,
Oh, most
No,
definitely.
yeah, he
He was
was.
fired to last year. He was a
Draper ain't
special
been
defense.
coaching for 2 years.
No, Draymond was a special defensive coach at
No,
Cleveland, something
I'm
like that.
talking about he wasn't the head coach when he got fired from the freaking Titans.
Titans.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was able to go and sign and be a head coach somewhere else.
the worst the worst kept secret of all time.
So
That New England wanted
Hey,
Vrabel.
Yep,
let's be honest. As much as Vrabel is beloved by the whole New England franchise,
hold on.
that deal was probably already done like mid-season.
oh
Hmm.
yeah, oh yeah,
That he probably him and Robert Kraft had probably already talked about this and they had to go through the formalities, the Rooney
Hmm.
Rule, but they already knew, man. Like they wasn't gonna pass up. I mean, Vrabel. I mean, he coached the team to a Super Bowl, and that's who they wanted. So I mean, this man, they can do this dog and pony show, but when you read between the lines, man, these
it
folks
was.
know who they want. They
Well, it
already
was
know.
always Vrabel, man. They just had to get the timing down right. Let Gerard go up there so he could get him, you
No,
know,
it was Pep Hamilton, knowing that Pep Hamilton was going to Maryland.
it
What
was,
David Culley
Hey,
doing right now, man?
can somebody tell me the story of was it Brian Flores got a text message saying congratulations?
From the
Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Giants. Yeah,
yeah,
Yeah.
from
yeah,
Bill Belichick.
yeah,
So
Belichick.
right.
that lets you know, man, this stuff is already worked out before. It's
Hmm.
like, so
He did text the wrong Brian. Well,
Hmm.
Yeah,
let's get back to us on
Yeah,
the
yeah,
06
we're
with the
going
on
down
the
the
Texans.
rabbit
Texans.
hole
The
Yeah.
Texans, I'm
yeah.
saying,
So,
they did went down the rabbit hole again on this.
so, nigga, you went on one first.
I said,
So,
damn,
Man,
you joined them.
let me
Thank
say
you, Mike.
this. So let me so
Only get blamed the fool for the fool.
so at the end of the day, we got Nick Cayley, EXO in the building. What up, EXO?
What go down? What go down?
So I want to speak. I want to go ahead and talk about what do we expect from Nick Cayley going forward, and what is do you think he's going to bring to the Houston Texans offensively that is going to change what we saw last year on offense?
Um, I really hope that with Nick Cayley, he brings over his time, well, his knowledge he brought over, he got from Sean McVay. Sean McVay is another Shanahan Kubiak disciple, but he decided to make his own way or make his own flavor of that system. So I know somebody had posted or talked about the fact that this hire was also kind of proves the fact that they're not trying to change the verbiage, they're not trying to change the scheme too much. I call bullshit on that a little bit, but if we trying to actually look into the situation, the verbiage and the scheme itself is not changing that much. It's just the way they're calling it and the way they design the plays is different. So
Correct.
hopefully the looks that we have seen with the Rams can bring over here. Rams do a lot of condensed looks. We already run that a lot. They do a lot more motion than we do, so hopefully they do a lot more pre-snap movements just to see what the defense is given. Um, He also spent some time with the Patriots in their tight end room and on their offensive side of the ball. So hopefully, with that knowledge, between I think he was there with Bill O'Brien, correct?
Yeah,
Yeah,
Josh
man.
McDaniels.
No, Josh
Yes.
McDaniels.
yeah,
So he
McDaniel.
got, and so he can get that. He can hopefully get some of the scheme and. God damn, that bus is close as shit. He can get that scheme kind of down as well from the Patriot system. We've seen it before with Bill O'Brien, Deshaun Watson, and some of the play designs and mock-ups as well. So I think it's a decent hire. I kind of just like everybody kind of probably said before I dropped it. I don't know if anybody said it or not. We just don't like the lack of play calling experience.
Hmm.
He hasn't been in a situation where he's been under fire where he has to call plays in sequential, uh, um, and then learning his situational awareness from where what people have said about him. I guess from like the little snippets and shit, they call him another boy wonder. They call him a little Sean McVay. Sean McVay said himself during his first interview with him that he was over prepared. So it shouldn't be a lack of know-all. It's hopefully just he has the it factor that Bobby couldn't get down yet.
Hmm.
Hopefully he's able to piece it all together. But his biggest and most important thing that he's about to do in the next 24 to I guess 96 hours or the next week is trying to figure out who's going to man up his O line. Um, who's going to man up 60 to 70% of the offense on the field at one point in time. That's five guys you got to put out there versus the 2 to 3 receivers, the one tight end, one running back, and one quarterback. It's the biggest offensive position group on the field. So it's a pretty big, important decision. Picking the O line coach is the biggest side of the ball, or biggest position group on that side of the ball. So I don't know who he has in his repertoire. His dad knows a lot of people. He knows a lot of people being from an
Yeah.
offensive line guy. So hopefully he
Well,
brings.
Comar, is that his name? Comar, the assistant offensive line coach for the Rams.
Yeah, a little nepo
Uh,
baby.
yeah, the son of his dad. I don't even know his dad's first name, but his dad is the offensive line coach in Buffalo. So,
Yeah, and hopefully, shit, maybe it can be another Callahan situation. Tell his daddy to come down here and help your boy out.
or it could be Cole Popovich again.
Yeah, I don't know how y'all.
I thought we got past that. AD. Why don't let's not go backwards, brother.
Hey, look,
You don't like Pop?
no,
Nobody
cause
like
he
Pop.
no, cause Popovich was the one
Cole,
coaching the offensive line last year.
That's what
listen,
some people.
Cole
That's what
and
somebody
and
said.
and
That
That's
we
what you
don't know
think.
Yeah.
that
That's
for
what
sure.
you. That's what the notion is that he was
That's
coaching the line.
so it was confirmed by a source that Strausser was the offensive line coach in name only.
Ah,
Just the good
listen,
old
man.
boys.
Cole and Kenny Green gonna be at HEB pushing baskets, bro.
Mm.
Shit, dude. Look, if you bring Como in, can't look, Kenyon Green gonna be pushing more than baskets. He gonna be pushing niggas out the way.
That dude gonna be on the
oh, we said
sideline.
people mover.
Mm,
Well, what I think what I like about the situation, if I gotta put a spin on it,
yeah.
I
I
like
agree
the
with
fact
it.
when he was with New England that it was with the time was time when Tom Brady was came from being a game manager to being the playmaker, and he worked with that quarterbacks. I like the fact when he actually got with Sean McVay, he got away from the Kyle Shanahan when and Jared Goff where the quarterback wasn't your main weapon, but he was just part of the cog, and your run game was the main reason why he got there. And when he got Stafford, his offense changed based on the quarterback talent level. So I'm
Mhm.
hoping that he understands that he can build a team to let his quarterback be the talent, unlike when Bobby was the system was the talent, and he couldn't coach up past the quarterback and understand that CJ is the talent. Let him read. Let him call audibles. Let him. He is the ones facing these blitzers and these stunts. Let teach him how to call the right audible and get him up to speed to being the guy that he needs to be to lead to lead this team. All the great ones that have multiple championships are allowed to audible and be the man. And I think that he was being held back because the system, the original Kyle Hand system, doesn't really allow the quarterback to thrive. It's the system is allowed to hide the weaknesses of the quarterback. When you have a budding star, a great talent, let that talent run. So I'm hoping that his time with the transitions of these two systems and quarterback and coaches allow him to see what CJ can be.
Hey, real quick, Barry, nigga, you at work. Second of all, that nigga got on the jean bucket head.
Like he blossom.
He talking about Cal, man, but shout out Barry. In the
I
building.
got a question for XO.
Talking about Cal Hat.
Yeah, he talking about my head.
Hey
Hey,
man,
That
that's a
boy
one
got
and
a
one
blue
though.
jean bucket hat.
Hey, that's a one
yeah.
and one, man.
Hey, you know I was born in 1972, so I ain't never afraid. Hey, I got a question for XO. XO,
You
XO
there?
still
Nah, he probably stepped away.
okay.
Um,
Well, I wanted him because I respect his intellect on the offensive line. I think a lot of us do. Uh, we talk about Bobby Slowick having this massive ego from what we've been hearing. Is there a possibility that there's some schemes that the offensive line, you speak of Popovich, AD a lot, that there were some things that wanted to be changed or wanted to be implemented and was just simply overruled? Because a lot of times, man, I shouldn't get graded. I shouldn't have a review behind the failures of
or what
my
if it was the
superior.
reverse? What if it was the reverse?
But see, I brought this up weeks ago, and what y'all told me was the final straw is Bobby Slowick. So if Bobby's calling the play, and they play a game, and then the line is not blocking to what he wants, then Bobby goes to the offensive line coach and be like, "Hey, man, this shit ain't working. Like y'all got to come up with something else." So how can we automatically know that the offensive line coaches is at fault if you have the coordinator? The coordinator, when I looked at this, everybody told me the coordinator is over the whole entire offense. That means the tight end coaches, the fullback coaches, the wide receiver, everything. So the final say so goes through him. And so if the offensive line is failing, then the bucks fall on him. But why does we think that okay, everybody that's in the building, is spoiled meat just like Bobby was?
Get rid of all them. It's cross contamination. Get rid of all them motherfuckers.
What did
They
I
say,
tell you? What did I tell you about that infestation, man?
man, they say
You
one bad apple can boil a bunch. Let's
Hey,
go with that.
all that shit, boy. You look. Let me tell you this, Cal. If you got a packet of rotten ground beef in your goddamn cabinet, in your refrigerator, next to some fresh chicken, and that shit been sitting there, you gonna eat that shit? You gonna eat that chicken,
Well,
or
hold
you gonna
on.
throw that shit away? You just gonna throw
How
all that
how
shit
how
away?
hungry am I? How hungry am I? And how broke am I?
Well,
Patty.
hold on, hungry enough
Uh,
when you open up that package of ground beef and not getting fucking perfume your whole goddamn house smell like some chitlins.
P, you said how hungry you are.
How
You
hung,
mean,
how hungry am I? And how broke am I?
or do you have any kind of health insurance?
Now,
Did,
I'm gonna say
them the
this much because hey, Larry and Swan comes from my era, so I
Cal,
have
you don't
kids
have to
right.
keep reminding everybody that your ass is old, man.
I say y'all come from our era. I said the era.
Yeah, we know.
So hey,
You say
I
I was
got
born in '72. You know,
I was like, carry the
hey
one.
man, I got kids right now, man, and I can have
I
a
hope you
damn.
do.
I have
You do.
kids right now, and I can
Go
have
ahead,
an
Kyle.
onion.
Get your point off, man.
Let me get my
God
point.
damn.
You got
half
kids, you
of
can do what?
half of the onion, not even half, but just 1/4 or eighth of the onion is bad, and they want to throw the whole onion away. And I'm like, nah. See, what we grew up as you cut off the bad, and You take the good, like you don't do that. So I'm not just with throwing everything out.
We know, Kyle. You know,
So
you was
you was
born in
one of them ones.
1972, and we was also drinking
So
water
Cal,
from the fountains
hold
with
on,
eating
Cal.
eating lead point two.
Hold
Don't mean
on.
it was
So
right
Cal
back
had
in the
that
days, okay?
banana. Cal had the banana. That motherfucker was brown all the way down, but that little to end point we had that little bit of yellow on it. That boy cut that whole banana and cut that they ate that little piece of yellow.
Hey
He
man,
ate
it
that
builds
whole banana.
character. It builds character.
See,
But we
we
want we
look.
want to build a different kind of
Yeah, we
character.
want
We
to
don't, we
build a
want Cole
champion.
out of there.
Character. Fuck all that.
Okay.
We got enough character after all the shit we've been through about a slug this past year. Um,
Yeah. Well,
so
we can exo Bobby, man, and move forward with this new thing, man, and just trust in the fact that maybe this offense is gonna finally look like what it's supposed to look like, man. Because we got. I'm not discarding what Bobby did CJ's rookie year,
hold on, Larry.
but a lot of that shit was
Larry.
CJ, dog.
Hold on, Larry. We got Mr. Mathematician in the building. Chris
Uh
Austin
oh.
say
Oh
Oh
goddamn. Here we
shit,
go.
here we go.
he say
Here.
Bucky Jean is not my lover.
You stupid, bro.
You
Oh
know,
man.
a lot of that was CJ's talent, man. Just carrying that offense his rookie year, man. And so I'm just hoping that with 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 uh with Kaylee, man, that he has some combo version of the offense that CJ gonna thrive in, man. And if that's a combination of the West Coast offense and what McVay does, I'm cool with it, man. And you know, it's gonna be all about the parts they add to it too, like you said with the O line, but the players too, man. Because you gotta make sure you have legitimate playmakers, and you know, so that this offense can finally open up and maybe some of the shit that CJ went through this year opened his eyes up too, man, and he knows that he got to get down with the get down on his end too, man.
Oh
Hey,
shit.
Swan. Swan, let me ask you a question. I know. Uh,
Hold on. For you ask your question, Larry Payne say, "Let the doctor educate you all on foodborne illness. You cannot see, smell, or taste the harmful microorganisms." Hold on, say it. I need y'all to say that microorganisms, Cal. You hear it? That's how you pronounce it. Microorganisms
They
that you
didn't have
get.
that word in 1972, man. Gone.
uh, he said, "I got some new math principles whenever y'all ready." No,
Oh
no,
man.
no. But go ahead, Jules. My bad.
but Swan, can you see that them keeping Cole and maybe with the guidance of this new guy, can the offensive line can work better other than Bobby Swan?
Popovich,
No, I'm talking Swan.
Swan might be indisposed right now because she ain't saying nothing. Is she?
Hey,
Nah,
but you know
Swan,
what?
they asking for you.
Let me jump on that with Jews. You know what? Let me ask y'all something, and I get back to what Jews saying. But do y'all really think that like when you interviewing for an offensive coordinator's job,
mm-hmm.
you know you have to come with your concept. You have to know who you want to hire, who you want to bring in, and they're gonna say, okay, what is it that you can do with what we have to make this thing successful? What is it on this offensive line that you think you can work with? Do you think that we need to, get rid of Patterson? All these other players. Like, what do you think we need? And then on top of that, they're gonna look at CJ and they're gonna look at different situations on film, and they're gonna say, okay, in this situation, it was 3rd and 8, and this play was called, and we was unsuccessful. What would you have done wrong? And you have to go up to the board and draw and say, okay, I want to do this and do that. I really think that once they made their decision, I think that going forward, I think the room would not be just like more like a dictatorship from what we hear. Now, we all can say that we heard Bobby was this and Bobby was that, but I think that CJ and Gerard Johnson, I think they're all going to have, an input on how they want to kind of implement what they want to run in this offense. And I think that's important to get the input from all three of those guys. I think that Kaylee has an idea what he want to do. He's seen CJ, and who wouldn't want a guy that's right now. Last year we was putting him at top 5, but right now he's still top 10, and that's his first
Chip Kelly didn't want
opportunity.
it. Chip Kelly didn't want it. He wanted $6 million.
Hey, he took the money. Hey, but yeah, he took the money. But I just think the offensive room is going to be open for interpretation, not interpretation, but it's going to be open for you know input. I think that the input wasn't there, and I think that made CJ really frustrated, and that's why you always seen CJ and Gerard sitting on the sideline, and you never seen Sloyd. Like that shit was weird to me to see your offensive coordinator sitting on the sideline in an unsuccessful third down, and your offensive coordinator is not over there talking to your quarterback. That
So
shit
I'm
was
Well,
weird to me.
well,
so
well. Let me ask you this, man. So, how do y'all think Gerard should feel knowing that he didn't get the spot and then brought in another dude that has no play calling experience? How y'all think he should feel?
I mean, if I could be honest, if y'all called me on last week, Gerard shouldn't feel no way. He should be honored that he even got an OC job because he haven't had enough experience than being an assistant
I mean,
quarterback
the OC
coach.
interview, right?
Yeah, mostly
Yeah,
he's been he assistant quarterback coach in Minnesota to a quarterback coach now. He has not built himself up enough to be a coach at that level. The fact that he's getting interviews shows that he has potential and he can learn some more.
So,
I don't really don't care if his feelings hurt.
so let me say this because I said it last on Friday, and I'm gonna keep saying it. Gerard Johnson is going to thrive in a situation where he's an offensive coordinator under an offensive minded head coach. And if you putting him in a situation where he's going to sink or swim, and the sink is like the Titanic.
Mm.
So it's just like you don't want to put Gerard in that situation because Gerard is a brilliant guy. Gerard has an innovative mind. Gerard has all of the qualities to be a good to great offensive coordinator. But this situation was not the right situation for Gerard Johnson
I think
to
Gerard
be
needs.
the lead guy.
I think Gerard needs to promote himself up to a different position other than quarterback coach. Because what does a quarterback assistant coach do?
What else can he do though?
Hey, bro, I don't find some. Hey, man, let me be
But you
tight end
are a
coach.
quarterbetter.
I mean, for
But
him
but
to
but but
for
he
him
but
to do
he's
better,
not
he got
gonna
to leave
be.
here,
But
bro.
he's not gonna be the quarterback.
But Jules, Kevin O'Connell wasn't was a
Right.
quarterback coach and an OC.
Cliff, quarterback, right?
yeah.
But
I
Cliff
mean,
took 15 years before he got to where it was. He wasn't getting the second highest
It
position
took
in the
15
team.
years to get to Texas Tech,
Well,
What
look at
then?
Shanahan, Jews.
Shanahan spent 10 years in Washington. I mean, see
but he
what
was a
Garrett
quarterback.
took.
He was a
Who was?
quarterback coach, and then he became offensive coordinator.
Actually, they
And
found.
But how many?
we
But
knew
how many
Kubiak
years?
was calling the
How many
play.
years did he? How many
Jules, let me
years?
hold on, Jules. Let me say this: there's not many coaches that are quarterbacks that became quarterback coaches and then moved on and started coaching other positions. Gerard Johnson is going to get his experience as a quarterbacks coach, and eventually somebody's going to hire him as an OC and give him an
OC, yeah.
opportunity.
And
But
actually, that's the
yeah.
closest way to.
it makes
That's
zero sense for Gerard to go be a running backs coach or
Hey
to
man,
go be a tight ends coach or be a wide receivers coach when you never played that position.
Well, I
First
mean,
of
he
all,
actually
could
the,
get.
actually the easiest way to become a OC is the quarterback coach because that's the next level, which they.
Well, I mean, there's a level in between that now,
it
and
is pass
and you
coordinator.
could get promoted somewhere else as a passing game coordinator,
There you go.
and then become the OC because there's
Okay,
more
then how
duties.
about this? Add, give him that title and here and add that on there.
That's basically what I said. I said he needs to go to a different level other than being
Kyle
quarterback
wasn't the
coach.
quarterback, Larry Payton. Kyle wasn't the quarterback.
I thought
My
the
whole
quarterback.
Yo,
no,
Gerard got to go somewhere else, bro. Like,
yeah.
yeah,
Why?
And there's nothing
y'all
wrong with
dancing
that.
over, y'all dancing over it. Like for Gerard to get his opportunity that he really deserves, he has to go somewhere else.
Mm-hmm.
Like the opportunity that
Yeah.
he wants is not here.
Right.
Like maybe he needs to take a step back and go to college just to get
Mm-hmm.
his feet wet as far as calling plays. Then get your rep up, then come back. but he has to go do something else versus staying here as a QB coach. I mean, yeah,
But hey,
you know
Pat,
CJ, you grew up to CJ, like, yo,
Nick Caley didn't have to go back to college. He
I
didn't
Here's
have
agree
to
the
with
go
you.
thing
back.
is,
That nobody.
he had interviews last year. If this offense hadn't have sucked this year, he'd have had more interviews this year.
Hmm.
If the offense takes off, he'll be right back in that talk again.
Gerard Johnson is 37 years old, and he's
That's
with
young.
Nick. Gerard Johnson is 37 years old. He's been with Nick Casario, been in the game for over 20 years, and we got D'Amico. He's working with two guys, and if he's showing that,
But
okay,
where's his offensive guidance at? That's the biggest thing because you talk
maybe
about
it's coming, maybe it's going to come from Caley because look, if we think that we can have the offseason that we think we can have, and if Nick Caley does what we hope that can happen, Nick Caley probably be one and done in just
Mm,
a fairy tale world. He'll be one and
One
done.
and done in Houston.
hold on.
nah,
If he
Dre
win a
said-
Super Bowl, if that guy win a Super Bowl, he out of here.
so Dre
I
So
think
said
that's already been discussed.
like I
so
said,
The whole one and
if
done
his
thing.
the whole thing about if his feelings are hurt and he feel like he get passed over, he need to go somewhere else and get that experience somewhere else.
yeah, so two comments. So Dre said Gerard won't leave. I heard the Tascasita might need some help. He talking
The
about the Tascasita
disrespect
High
is
School.
real, man.
And then Barrett said Gerard doesn't need to leave. He's inexperienced, been coaching 2 years and getting OC interviews. He's right where he needs to be.
Yeah.
But the statement was if his feelings hurt or how she feel, if he feels slighted, then he need to move around to get some other reps.
That is certain fans that's throwing it out there.
That
Yeah.
was the question that Larry asked. I'm asking the
Right.
question
So
Because
Yeah,
that's
I just asked the question because I mean,
but why
if
should his feelings be hurt?
because my original point was his feelings shouldn't be hurt. He got
Right.
because if you go on based on resume, Nick has a little bit better resume.
Yeah.
That's it.
so what frustrated me, because I want to switch gears a little bit, but what frustrated me is the candidates that they brought in and the lack of experience. And I think me and Pat were on the same wavelength about getting an experienced person.
me
And
too.
So you
and
want to
Larry
retread.
too, that you gotta have an experienced person in there to kind of rectify and kind of get shit together, moving in the right way, in the right,
See the
direction,
see the flaws.
and so that was the biggest flaw of the Houston Texans coaching search is that they didn't bring in enough experienced candidates, and they're relying on relationships over results.
Really.
Want to hire your
And
homeboy?
that to me is the issue with all of that is that there was opportunity for guys that you could have brought in for coaching. Mike McCarthy said he wanted to
Oh,
wait a year. If you
no.
would have pulled out a checkbook, I ain't saying give him money, but if you would have gave him a $3 million contract, I highly doubt he would have said, "No, I'm gonna sit and wait."
Oh, he would have said no.
You know, that's
But
Yeah.
Because
okay.
he
I
ain't
didn't
getting
really
paid.
want McCarthy
Mm-mm.
because I thought he would only want to stay for a year,
Mm-hmm.
and I didn't want to like uproot it and then be right back in the same position a year
Exactly.
later.
I expect
So,
Nick to be here at least 2 years, at least.
so again, if Nick Caley come in here and this offense is top 5,
Y'all say Super Bowl.
and we make the Super Bowl,
He
Mm-hmm.
gone.
and they already say he a prodigy or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, a whiz kid, whatever they want to say.
Mm-hmm.
You telling me he gonna roll? We gonna do he gonna roll it back again
Here's
and
my
miss
thing
on the
is, no.
opportunity?
I
If I
mean, we
win the
win the
Super Bowl,
Super
if I
Bowl,
win the
then
here thing is, maybe just me. If we win the Super Bowl, hey, you know what? That's gonna satisfy me for a long time because I've been waiting over 50 years for one. So if I get one in
The
my
way you
You
said
don't,
lifetime,
it,
damn,
Swan,
Swan, you don't have to
hold
remind everybody that
on.
you was
The way
born in
you
the
said that,
70s too.
Swan, the way you
God
no,
said
I was
damn.
born
that,
67 to be exact.
I'm gonna be
Okay, well,
satisfied
yeah,
for a
that too.
long time.
Oh my gosh, man.
Wow. Hey, I got a
I'm gonna
question
have
for y'all, man.
edit you and Cab, man.
I got a, I
I
got a
mean,
question
that's
for
a
y'all, man.
shame.
What's the question?
Do y'all feel like this guy can elevate or get some
production out of Damian Pierce.
Man,
Oh
fuck Damian
Lord.
Pierce.
Hey,
Oh Lord.
I'm
I don't see
look.
why not.
I don't see why
Hell
either.
no.
Fuck Damian Pierce.
Look,
Exactly.
if he can somehow fix Schultz, he can do anything.
That's the
Oh
big.
But
Hold
no,
on.
hey,
no,
Mike,
Hold on.
Mike,
I
what's
said, look.
wrong with you, man?
Let me
Hey
say
man,
this. I said this during the offseason. If
Schultz.
if D'Amico Ryans could make Devin White, not the offseason, but during the season when we signed Devin White, D'Amico Ryans could make Devin White a player. He's one of the greatest linebacker coaches ever.
That's
If Nick
bullshit.
Caley, if Nick Caley can make Dalton Schultz a
Okay.
reliable blocker
I don't
and
need
a
to block. I
better
need to
tight
block
end
catcher.
and a better
Dalton
tight
Schultz
end
ain't gonna even
overall,
be on this squad in
Nick
2025,
Caley
man.
is one of the best tight end coaches in America.
Right, that's why we're saying that.
He
Man, first
ain't
of
gonna
all,
even Dalton Schultz ain't gonna even be on this squad in 25, dog.
Hey,
They
so
gonna
they
go with
this
they gonna go with
any
Stover and they gonna draft a tight end and go with Stover and then they gonna have my boy at number 9 come back,
Brevin
man.
Jordan, yeah.
Yeah, damn
I said
right.
that already.
this,
So let
this
me.
is Damian
So,
Pierce
so
last year under contract. Y'all need to
Yeah.
Lord,
go
you
on.
yeah,
y'all still talking about Damon Pierce. Good
Y'all need to go
Lord,
ahead.
man.
Hold
hold
on.
on,
Y'all need to
Juice.
go
Hold
ahead
What's
and
on,
get
wrong
all
with
Larry.
this
Hold
that?
on.
Damian Pierce love out your system because by the end of this next season, he is not worth
I
re-signing.
thought Jews had changed, man. Jews
As
still
long, hold
crazy
up,
than the
as
motherfucker.
long
Y'all want Damian
as long as
Pierce?
he contributes,
Let me say this
He
because
ain't
Larry.
worth it, Twan.
So let me say this. Larry was talking about the tight end
he's
position.
dirt cheap.
Larry was talking about the tight end position group, and then he brought up Brevin Jordan. A lot of people love Brevin Jordan. A lot of
He
That's
people
been
you.
he
love
been cut
and
twice.
a lot of again, Brevin Jordan was should have been cut last off season and the one before that.
No, he didn't.
Um, yes, he should have.
If he doesn't if
So,
he doesn't make that touchdown run, y'all don't remember
yes,
Brandon
if
Jordan all
Brevin
last
Jordan
year.
does not make that play
Y'all don't
in the
remember Jay
playoff
Jordan.
game against the Browns, are
I
we still
disagree.
talking about Brevin Jordan?
Oh
I
come on.
disagree too.
Oh
I
come
thought
on,
he
Because
man.
improved in the
in this
season with the blocking.
in this offense,
I don't know how.
having an H back like that, having an H back tight end like that's big with the underneath stuff. That Dalton Schultz big slut footed ass couldn't run, man. Look, this is one of the best drafts for tight ends this season, man.
Then
I
why we talking
couldn't
about
get
Brandon Jordan then?
exactly. I couldn't get, but my point is with with Schultz, that big sorry motherfucker man wasn't doing nothing this year for $12 million, man. You can go get you a tight end in this draft, get Brevin Jordan and have Stover, and then you got three tight ends, man.
I'm
I'm
not. You're not gonna
cool.
kill
I
my
actually
dead
like to
cap.
bring Irv Smith Jr. back.
I'm talking about fuck all them and bring me Harold Fanning Jr.
Nah, he not the
Okay,
one
I
for
can
us,
see
bro.
that.
He not the one for us.
Get
Why
go
why the
get
hell
that
he not?
hook 'em
Oh, look at you.
horns, man.
Mm-mm.
Why the hell Harold
Hook 'em
Fanning ain't for us? I want hold on, Larry. I want to hear this
hook 'em
shit.
horns.
I'm
Larry,
with Larry.
fuck them
I
ones.
like Gunner, but there's a guy in our that nobody's paying attention to that would be the perfect guy for us.
Why?
Why?
Hmm?
What's
Because
his
they
name?
all
First of
they do is
all,
produce tight ends.
Thank you. That's my statement right there. Hey,
That's just
first of
like
all, I'm
LSU
saving.
wide
I've been
receiver
saving
you.
I've been saving my draft talk for when
I
it's
can't
time.
wait.
So
I
I ain't
can't
giving
wait.
up.
I can't
we're
Hey,
wait.
gonna give us
Just
2 more weeks. We're gonna do draft
yeah,
talk 2 weeks.
hey, whenever y'all need me, I'm ready, bro. I'm telling you. But my guys know. I didn't. Matter of
hey,
fact, hey, when the show is over, AD, bro, I'm gonna send you my notes, and you go do the homework yourself.
Pat, don't
You
send them to
understand?
him. Don't send them to him. Hold
Hey,
on to
man,
him.
Yeah.
look, Larry
I'm
mad
telling
because I
you.
say fuck them on.
I heard your ass,
No, hey,
80.
look. I like Gunner.
Hey,
Hey,
Gunner is perfect
He's
too
six
for
five.
what we gonna do. You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
hold
you
But
on.
know,
So
I'm
let me
telling you,
go
the
ahead. Go
one
ahead.
thing,
Go ahead. Go
the
ahead,
one
Pat.
thing, the one thing we got to realize is Kelly been a tight end coach for 9 years. If he think Dalton don't fit the scheme, if he don't think Brevin fits the scheme, we'll know.
He and he don't. I'm gonna say right now, Brevin Jordan for no scheme.
And let
Yeah,
me say this.
but
I
see,
disagree
okay,
with that.
He
see,
is
Y'all
because
some
his
damn
Hold on,
haters.
he's
hold
a,
on,
he's a,
hold
he's a,
on, hold on. We
we
going
Damn
on.
want
Let me say
we
haters.
this.
gonna defend
Juice,
everybody that
Pause.
has Texan jersey on.
Pause,
Juice,
Jules.
Juice.
Pause.
Okay,
Pause.
okay.
Hold on, Cal. Hold
Dylan, you
on,
don't
Cal.
like no damn body.
I
Hold
love
on.
everybody.
No,
Hold
you don't.
I
on.
All
respect.
you like is goddamn CJ.
One,
I like it
Jules.
when they
Both
play.
of y'all asses. Hold
What?
on.
What?
Shit.
What?
I said pause, goddammit. Shit. Now, do you want to be paused? Or you want me to check?
Excuse me. Hello.
No, because I'm trying to say it because we going down a tangent and a rabbit hole about Brevin Jordan and
Thanks to Larry.
Damian
We're
Pierce
talking about
and all
how
of
they
that.
fit in
But we
possibly
talking
the
about
scheme.
but we're talking about end of the roster,
They ain't
backup,
in the
There
roster.
you
They
go.
reserve
wasn't starting.
guys.
There you go. They tell the truth about Pierce and
We're
Smith
talking about
and Beverly Jordan.
we're talking
Brevin
about
Jordan's gonna be
end
a
of the
start.
roster guys. Schultz is warranted. But when we start talking about Brevin Jordan as tight end 3, and we talking about Damian Pierce as running back 2/3, and we talking about these end of the roster guys, what is he gonna do for Nico Collins? What is he gonna do for Stephon Diggs that may possibly return? What is he gonna do for our offensive line? Like those are the type of questions that we need to talk about. Not no goddamn Brevin Jordan and Damian
Yeah,
Pierce.
that's a
Okay.
July and August
Can
conversation,
I
really.
can I can I comment on the offensive line real quick?
Go ahead.
Please do, because you want to
I,
start the whole damn Pierce conversation.
yeah, I was getting to that, then y'all just kind of went left with it. But look, listen. So I feel like with the offensive line and doing a little studying on the sideline with this guy we bringing in, it's going to be zone, but it's going to be more so of what is that power scheme, right?
Yeah,
Line. It's a power line.
Yeah,
yeah,
what
power
So
what they
if this
use in
guy,
L.A.
yeah,
yeah.
power
Correct.
So
scheme.
so
Yeah.
if this guy is smart, I hope he is. Knock on wood, real quick. You would utilize your offensive line to their strengths and not their weaknesses, right? Damian Pierce is a power gap guy. That's why I brought it up. I was trying to tie in the two before we get kind of went left with it. But if he can do that, and you still have to shuffle the offensive line. You don't know if Titus want to stay at left guard or go back to right tackle. You don't know what your center and right guard is going to look like. I.e., Shaq Mason got to get the fuck up out of here. But if he can fix that and not cost too much money, you know what I'm saying? Like that's invest heavily money into that shit because you got to re-sign Diggs. You got to bring in. I think they're gonna trade for Cooper Cup, but you got to free up some money to make some shit happen. Period. That's my opinion on that right there.
Yeah, so
Good job.
Fuck Damian Pierce,
That's what
man.
I'm talking about, Larry. Tell the truth, Larry.
Whoa!
Hey, listen, I'm not a Pierce fan. I'm not. I'm
I,
not.
I,
I just
look,
brought it
man.
up. That's what we got.
How long do we wait on these folks, man?
Okay, so we getting rid of Kenyon Green too?
Hell
Well,
yeah.
shit.
I've been told you, Kenny gonna be an
Yeah.
HEB.
Oh damn!
This is what year 3 of Kenya's deal.
it'll be
This year 5.
no,
It's
No,
four.
year
you're
four.
four.
Four. He
You're
look. He
four.
came. He went
This is
senior.
his last year on the contract
Yeah,
anyway.
so you don't lose nothing by holding on to him to
Oh,
the
but you
end of training
want to
camp.
hold on to Damian Pierce? They in the same
Man,
draft.
you know how many times I watched Damon Pierce run up an offensive lineman back? Man, I'm done with that, man. We can find a running back. My
Hold
whole
on.
thing about this deal is here, whatever Kaylee gonna come in here and open up. I still don't believe unless Damon Pearson we got some LASIK that I don't know about. His ass ain't finna do nothing no different than he been doing.
Okay.
Damian Pierce, and then Brandon said Damian Pierce averaged 7+ yards a carry last season.
Well, out
And
of out of, eight, out of 18 carries,
No,
but
it was more than that.
so he
oh,
had more than
it
that,
was 33.
but
He had about
again,
30, close to 40.
No, okay,
in
come on
one
now, come on now.
carry,
Let's not
hold on,
let's
but
not
Jules,
carry the walk there for
Let me
Purdy
say this
and
that
Phillips.
He was a hell. He was a better returner than we had back
so
there.
so let me say this about Damian
Like,
Pierce. Damian Pierce had it. Damian Pierce had that 92-yard run. I forgot what was it. It wasn't the Patriots game. It
It
was
was Tennessee
You talk about the Titans
Tennessee.
game.
the Titans game.
again.
Before that carry alone, damn near eclipsed what he had the whole
Whole
damn year.
season.
Hold up.
Exactly.
Who else had 93?
Hold on.
Hold up. Barrett
This
said
is
he
the
had
this,
two 90-yard
this
touchdowns.
hold
I
on.
don't
He
Let
know
me
who
say
did.
else. We
So
had
who else
listen.
had them?
hold on. This
He
I
got that
looked this
one
up.
at the end of the season.
Coach
This
No,
is
Hayes
the
a hell of a drug.
no,
disrespect.
he had one more in the season. No, I'm
If you
saying, never mind.
if you take the 93-yard carry away, he had 39 carries for 201 yards. That's 5 yards a carry for a
I'll
backup
take
running.
5 yards to carry, especially when we had a hard time
What are
converting.
we talking about, man? He had 39 carries.
I
Like
can't
we,
help
we,
that,
we
Bobby.
act like this dude was averaging
No,
2.3
I am
yards a
saying that
carry.
he served. What I
If
am
we can
saying
Hey,
get
is
if
he
we
hey,
can get
served.
Buckethead,
somebody to
He
Buckethead.
replace
served.
him, that's
Hold
cool.
up, but
But
Buckethead.
let the facts speak for
Give me the
themselves,
stat.
though.
Phillip, hold on.
Buckethead, give me the stat on how many times his ass was deactivated this season. Give me that stat.
I don't know. I'm just giving you the stat was listed.
I know that his ass was did not play or coach's decision. His ass was all of that at least 3 or 4 times this
At this
season.
I
point,
mean,
just
if
say
you
that
can
Bobby,
replace him, if you
I'd
can
like to
replace him
evaluate
for
him a
somebody
different
better,
guy
if you
and
can
a different
replace him for
scheme.
somebody
So
better,
this
that's fine. I'm not arguing. I'm not an advocate for Damian Pierce, but
I got you.
I'm not going to sit here and just say, oh, he was just like the 39 carries before that 92-yard carry. He was
I'm
averaging 5 yards a carry. Yeah, he was injured, but we also got to look at, and this is not an endorsement for this guy here. Shut up, man. This is not an endorsement for Damian Pierce, but his rookie year, he rushed for 900 yards. Now, I'm like Larry, the dude vision is really, really bad. If we can replace him, which I prefer, I'm good with that.
Then what's the conversation in?
He should be drafting a running back in this
gonna
No,
say
draft.
this
the
right now.
conversation is if you're going to talk about a guy, speak the facts on it. Don't
That
say,
he ain't good?
okay, that's
No.
fine. But y'all saying, oh, man, Jules, you were saying that, oh, that 93 yard, if you take that away, he averaged,
He
he
ain't
That
do
was
only averaged
nothing.
5 yards a carry.
AD, first of all. That wasn't me.
Second of all, Killer Cow Elon
That's
got you.
why your Wi-Fi went out. Still co-signing that fucking name
Hold up,
appears,
hold up,
man.
hold up. Brandon says Pierce also made Amy Adams cry. Yeah, we did make that bitch run to a car. She ain't say nothing to nobody. That
Let me
alone
say
should get him
this.
another year.
Let me
Oh,
say this.
yeah.
We spent a total amount of about 5 minutes talking about
Okay,
Damian
I'm
Pierce
sorry, y'all, because
that I
they
cannot
did
get
get
back.
irritated.
So he does not deserve 5 minutes of conversation
Why he
of
doesn't? He's on the
anything.
roster.
No.
So
I
is
mean,
John Weeks
technically,
so is
So let's
John
talk
Weeks, but we
about
don't talk
okay.
about
Let's talk
John
about
Weeks like
John
that.
Weeks. Let's talk about John Weeks. Let's
hey,
talk
he
about
coming
John Weeks.
He
back
a
for
good
what?
brother, man.
Year 16, 17?
Yeah, but
Yeah,
we
he
don't talk
coming
about
back.
John
John
Weeks
Weeks.
being on the
Hey,
Yeah,
John
man.
Weeks.
roster.
Do
He
you
they
hey
think
man.
John
announced that.
Weeks? Do you think John Weeks was a cause of Kyrie Fairbairn missing those field goals in Kansas City?
Nah,
Do
man. I
you
think it
No,
think?
was
Do you
Hell
think?
he
Do you
a
think
no.
he
cold.
snapped
He
it
a
a
that,
little
frostbite on
too
his
no,
high?
foot.
that
Do you think
Hawaiian
he snapped it a
punch
little bit
Negro.
too low? Do you think that him blocking on that field goal try was adequate enough to prevent those guys blocking the kick? Do you think that John Weeks, running down on punt return, was he effective enough in
Yeah.
making plays and tackles in the game? Like don't
Okay,
fuck
first of
John
all,
Weeks,
okay,
fuck all them
okay, hold
niggas.
up. Here's the thing is, we are talking about
Like
punters and
the fuck.
kickers and long snappers.
And punt
Hell
returners.
no.
And
Those
punt
are real
returners.
football players. Let's not do that.
Thank you.
Hey
Thank
And
man,
you.
punt,
John Wick,
So
he made
Man,
a good
all
man,
that
biscuit,
shit
man.
y'all
AD,
talking
I'm
about,
just talking about those that maybe I know what we prefer. I'm just saying is I wouldn't be surprised if Damian still on his roster and he RB2 going into training camp. I'm just saying.
well, we
Hey,
gonna need camp bodies.
No, we
Everybody
nah,
will.
we
need
gon'
camp
I
bodies.
said
we
no, no,
definitely
no,
gonna draft a
no.
running
I
back, bro.
said no. I said
Yeah.
RB2 in camp,
Hawaiian
and
foot can't have a
let
cold
somebody else beat him
pause.
out.
he can't even be out there anywhere.
Oh God damn!
My
Nowhere is
damn
RB2.
my
What was he
damn
this year? What was he this
And
year?
more trusted
No.
and more trusted him when it's on third downs.
Shit, let's talk
Steve.
about Steven Sims. Let's talk about Steven
Hell, he
God
was better than
damn.
Steven Sims.
Come
AD,
on,
you
AD.
might
Steven
want to quit
Steven
co-signing
Sims
my
is going
kinfolk, man.
Arizona. Everybody was
AD,
going east west, east west, east west.
Oh, shit.
AD,
Like
Mm.
come on, man, get back on topic.
again,
Hey,
I tried to
So
get back on top against. I don't know how the hell we keep going back to goddamn
Well,
Damian Pierce.
so
let's get back
Hey,
to
what about Chris
back to
Boyd?
Dick Haley, bro.
let's get back to Kaylee and CJ
Yeah.
Stroud, the main thing, which is the main thing. I need him to come in and settle my dog feet down and get him back on track. Now, my whole question and concern is, which is what my concern with Bobby was, is that he don't have a playbook. Is his playbook long enough to be creative enough than that stale, boring shit that we saw in 2024 with Bobby, man? That's all I care about. If he got enough imagination and enough creativity to get my quarterback back right and then get Nico and Joe Mixon and all them boys doing what we know they capable of doing, then I'm a ride with it.
I can ride with that.
I
Well, I
just seen
think
Brandon's comment. I like what he just said.
which one?
about y'all input on the draft.
I don't know about that.
That's that's
I
gonna
mean, you
I'm
got
gonna
the
tell you that's
opinion.
gonna tell a
Everybody's
lot.
got an opinion, but
I
as
mean,
far
but you the man of
He's
the
the
show,
OC.
so
He's the OC. He better have opinion.
no, I'm saying when
like
you say have input, I mean everybody. D'Amico said that everybody has input.
no, I'm thinking what Brandon is saying. Like in the past, has he had input like versus
Yeah, with
now?
the
Oh, well, he
Rams.
wasn't an OC.
Yeah, I'm saying like versus now. Like you got the keys to the Ferrari now. Like you dictate where we're gonna go with it.
Well, did he help draft Aaron Hernandez?
You know what?
Nah, he wasn't.
Good night.
I looked it
No,
up.
I'm
that's
Hey,
no,
Hey,
that was
Aaron
pre.
was gone, man. I looked it up
No,
earlier. Aaron was gone. Aaron was
no, we
gone,
don't, we
man.
don't, we don't need, we
Nah,
don't
that
need
boy
an Aaron
Stone
on the
Cold
team.
Killer, man.
The goddamn natural born killers, man.
No, that's okay. That's all right.
Hey,
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 we done had
hey, check
enough
it out.
drama on this damn team. Nope.
Ain't nothing wrong with a killer, man. Ain't nothing
What
wrong with
about little?
Excuse
What
me.
I
about
ain't the
little?
killer.
What
I ain't the
about little
killer, but
Kellen
don't push me,
Winslow
man.
Jr.?
Come on, man.
No, he was a perv. He was doing it to old women. We had a
That damn,
perv on the team.
that damn Swan something else. Look, man, it's gonna be now that we got our OC, man. The primary thing is the offensive line coach. We'll be able to see more of what this thing is gonna look like once they make the announcement on the OC. If they say Greg Popovich's son gonna be the OC, I'm gonna have a fit, man.
That's all right. Go down there to the specs and go and get that Ciroc and then stop
Yeah,
by
yeah, I'm gonna
HEB
do
and
that.
grab a Simply and and then what about another month and a half when
Yeah.
spring kick off and then we can get all excited again.
Now I'm gonna have to fly to Canada and give me some of that crown since
Oh,
old
you
boy
gonna
and
pay? Oh, nah, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it, Larry. Don't.
we went down too many
I'm gonna
Football.
go
rabbit
back
trails.
to I'm gonna go back to Patton. Patton over there just blazing, man, and so
I'm
it's
trying.
all
I'm trying.
good.
Hey, I probably
Hold up.
swore I wasn't gonna crash out,
Okay,
man.
here's Larry. So Larry gonna say what he's saying right now. And then in about 2 weeks, he gonna be like, he just thought about it. Okay, these boys can do this because they do such and such and such. Okay, we at the combine. He gonna be looking at the boys, go like, oh yeah, we can do this shit, yeah. And then
Okay,
eventually gonna happen. And then it's gonna start off slow like it normally do. And then they gonna pop up and do something we didn't expect. And then you gonna be like, oh yeah, we doing shit on Kirby. And
okay,
then hold up.
yeah,
Then mini camp will come. You're like, all right, training camp. That's where it is. Larry gonna be out there.
Yeah.
Oh hell yeah, we got this shit. Fuck yeah.
hmm
Yeah.
Hmm.
We
I think I
going
need a shot
for
now.
hold up. 14-3. God damn it. We
Tell him,
got
Swan. Tell him, goddamn it, tell
So,
him. Shit.
so this
and
comment right
then hold
here.
up. Then home opener. He gonna be out there in that goddamn platinum parking lot, blue parking lot, tailgating, and he gonna be feeling real good by the time he get in
Shit, tell.
the stadium.
Hold
And
on,
it's
Larry.
them boys on Kirby.
Hold on. So,
With that John
Barry,
Weeks brisket.
Oh,
yeah, hold on.
hey.
Hold on. So Barry said Jonathan Alexander says that Kaylee is getting to choose his own staff. So,
Okay.
which is what we all were
Okay,
concerned about
Brandon. Is there a way to block Brandon?
earlier.
Why don't you block Brandon?
Look what he said.
Imagine what the fuck, Brandon? Come on, Brandon, bro. God
I
damn.
said, can
So,
we block Brandon?
No, hey, I love Brandon, man. Brandon, he's one of our top guys on our show, man. But come
mhm.
on,
Hold on, we
he's
got to
funny
treat like
though.
hey, you treat like your kid. Go to your room.
Hey,
I'm just
so
messing with you, Brandon.
I'm gonna say this because we need to go ahead and wrap it up. At the end of the day,
The day got in.
huh? Yeah. No.
It was right there, man. It was
Hey, at
right
the end
there.
of the night. At the end of the night.
Uh,
So, we got Kaylee, and it's a work in progress. We got to see what else unfolds.
Yeah.
We had to get to talk about it and
Oh.
everything. Um, let me say this: with all the cussing, I'm not gonna mention it. And the crash out, no. I'm not gonna mention them today, but they are responsible for the H-Town Rundown Big US. But it's just a process, man. We gotta wait and see how the rest of the coaching staff feels out. who's staying, who's going. Hopefully, a lot more going than staying, and then the comments are gonna come. But definitely, definitely. I look. I was hashtag anybody but Gerard Johnson. And
Yes,
then
you
when
were.
they, then when we hired Kaylee, I said, "Thank God it ain't Gerard." So
Because you said that. You did. You said anybody. You had a hashtag.
yeah, anybody,
Because you told
anybody.
your exact words were, I need to see change, and running back with the same thing, promoting within was what?
It's fucking insane.
There you go. So,
What up, Black Lion? Hey, Barry say
hey,
he got
Black
all night
Lion.
space going. But definitely, I want to hear y'all final thoughts, and then we're gonna call it a night, because people got to go to work in the morning, like myself.
I'll go real quick. I want to
Hmm.
say he was one of my three. He was not my top, but he was one of my three hires, so I'm happy. The one thing I will take from this is twice D'Amico, whether that came from up top with a little nudging or not, I don't know. But yet and still, the fact that he was able to pivot and say this isn't it, and then to turn around and seek somebody from the outside when the easiest thing to do was to promote from within. So for me, where I stand, I feel like D'Amico is his own man, and my confidence is still as high as it was. And I'm just looking forward to looking at mock drafts and combines and all the other stuff going forward.
Hmm. What you got, Patty?
Well, I'll tell you this: we're gonna see, and we're gonna see real soon. If I can place an expectation on him, I expect him. If he doesn't, if we go into training camp this year with the same offensive line, that means he believes he can fix the problem.
Mm-hmm.
And if the problem don't get fixed, don't try to kill him. Number two, I'm gonna know for sure if two guys is on this team still, how serious he is about elevating this offense. Those two guys are Dalton Schultz and Shaq Mason. If those two guys are on my team come training camp, I can't take them serious. However, I will say this, even on a positive note, um, let's hope and pray, knock on wood once again, he can turn this ship around and get CJ being elite like how we're accustomed to him being. So let's go.
Mm-hmm. What about you, Cal?
Uh, I'm gonna hit on the once again. I think that hiring an offensive mind, second go round on his interviews. If Gerard come back and don't take a second job, and CJ can buy in, I think you're gonna have three offensive minds that's think it's gonna be a collaborative effort that they're gonna all work together, and they're gonna figure this thing out, man. I was watching uh, NFL Network, and I was watching the Atlanta Falcons offense, and I looked at that offense roster, and I looked at their quarterback. And if you telling me that you don't think that CJ can be what Matt Ryan was the year that they averaged 33 points a game and put up over 500 something points. We all think CJ can do that. And that's not really like really far-fetched. And people want to settle for 24 and 21, 24 points. It's not enough. But I think that you get all of those minds together and they can come up with a scheme and a plan. I think it's going to work itself out. So, hey, all we can do is just sit back and just hope it works out, man. We got the hire and we just got to move on with it.
What you got, Larry?
Hey man, I'm just gonna go with they went through this whole process. They interviewed a whole bunch of dudes, and they settled on who they wanted. And I like Haley, I like Stananovich, and I like Chip too. But I trust D'Amico Ryans. So, and Nick has decided that he gonna bring in one of his dudes. Okay, that's fine. Let's see what this looks like for that offense because That offense is the only thing that kept me out of New Orleans this year, man. And that because that defense was stout, and if that offense had just given us any glimpse that it was a serviceable offense, we would have been in New Orleans instead, man. So if this is what D'Amico and them believe in, and this is the route they want to go, I'm a co-sign it, man. But if I see that whole Dalton Schultz and HEB, I might slap the shit out of him.
Hey, Larry, that dude 6'5", 245.
I wouldn't give a damn. Never mind.
All right, Larry. Now, hey, you
So
put
let me
your ass
let
on the
me,
grill.
let
Make
me
some
answer
snap
this.
for brisket out your ass.
Hey, Black, this was true. He was in the interview process. But when we heard about it, slow it.
Yeah.
Then Mr. Optimist said, "I want some turnover on the staff, and I feel better." I think that's mostly all Texan fans. And I pissed a lot of
Yep.
people off today about Myles Garrett. I trade the Neil Hunter for Myles Garrett in a heartbeat.
No,
But the
that's
problem is that you're not.
anyways.
That's not gonna happen because them
Yeah, so
Browns is gonna want to fleece us to get back what we took from them. So no, Miles Garrett is not worth it. Get that out your head.
Nah.
Dallas want to fleece LA.
No. That's a difference. You are not
All right.
comparing Brandon
So,
Brooks to no damn Miles Garrett. We took all they picks and made them get that man a guaranteed contract to sign him. And now they franchise guy saying trade me. He put out a letter. He did a swan, okay? I said that for Killer Cow. You understand it? He put out a letter and said why he didn't want to be there. He didn't just say trade me. He put out a letter and signed his name to it.
hey,
In 3 years. So you don't think they're gonna want to fleece us? We gonna pay a Miles Garrett tax. I'm sorry, he ain't worth it.
ah,
It's all good.
Because
yeah,
I guarantee you, I'd rather have Larry Thompson protecting CJ than Miles Garrett next to Will Anderson Jr. Because that's basically what we're saying.
Pretty much.
yeah. All right,
My
Mike, you
quarterback
came
worth
in.
more.
Yeah, he came right in at the end, Mike. We about to go ahead and sign it off. Any final thoughts? Because I'm about to call it a night.
Mike have to go
Yeah,
hide the
just
body.
I do have a quick question.
what?
Is you on three guys or anybody go be having something after this?
You own three guys. That's
God
all nice
damn.
space. There's all
Hey, I
nice
didn't call
space.
y'all two.
Shit.
Do
Now, okay,
you,
so
you
Sworn, I do my pull-ups, my pull-up spaces. I don't know if I'm gonna do it tonight.
We got to continue this. AD got a curfew. He got to get off. Oh, lady,
You know
tell him get
what?
I gotta work, and
I'm
I'm
gonna do it.
tired.
You
I'm
know,
gonna
hey,
be tired.
after this show,
Need Monday.
I'm off tomorrow, so I'll do a pull-up after this, after we done with
I
the
Okay.
show.
thought I thought Barry said he was doing it. He's already on the
Oh, you doing
spaces or
one? I
something.
didn't see. I'm sorry. I wasn't following all the chat.
I didn't
You
know if
doing
that was true or
But
not, but I thought I
if
saw
he
Barry say something.
if he doing one, I don't want to run on a little bit
right?
of parade, so it's
Yeah.
cool.
But yeah, Mike, go ahead and give your last comment.
Yeah, just kind of echoing some of the sentiments. Kind of cautiously optimistic about who the hell we sign or hire for the O line coach job, assuming we bring in somebody new. Um, and kind of cautiously optimistic with Kaylee, given his what the hell is that? Um,
I was
experience
gonna
in New
ask you
England.
playing the PS5.
Okay, experience in LA and New England. So, um, you know, he wasn't any of our. He wasn't top choice for any of us, but we're gonna trust Nick and D'Amico on this, and hopefully we make some moves into this off season. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
So definitely, man.
AD,
Yeah,
before you end it, man, I just want to say thank you for having me and Pat on, man. I appreciate it. This
yeah.
was
I was about to give you proper sign off, sir. Yeah.
I always got to say thank you for allowing me to come on. So I'm speaking for Pat, and I know he can speak for himself, but
Hey, yeah, of
to
course.
interact with Swan and Mike G and the OG Stafford, man, and you giving the invite, man. I just want to say thank you for the invite, bro. This was great.
Sure, for sure. Hey, we got again. This is commonplace, so we always alternate and intertwine. Pause. But
And stop, stop shooting them slugs at me on the chat, man, because I'm gonna come and get you. I'm gonna come and see you. I'm gonna
Hey,
come see you.
Hey,
Bad
but
news
You
gonna
do
beat
it,
you home.
hey,
Pat.
but shout out to Larry and Stafford, who had to bop off for joining us. Shout out to Jules who went to bed. Shout out to my there you go, there Larry. Okay. Shout out to Larry and Stafford for joining us. Shout out to Jules who had to go to bed. Shout out to my other co-hosts Mike G and Auntie Swan. And then, of course, shout out Killer Cal and Patton from Texans on 3 podcast. Right now, they Texans on 2. Nitty was in the chat as well. But shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to all the people that are watching us live. You know, we'll be back. When we be back, and if any more news drop, we'll have some more time to talk about it. But we'll see y'all when we see y'all. We appreciate y'all all. And again, this episode was sponsored by BetUS where the game begins. Y'all go ahead and use that promo code JOIN125 to get up to 125% back on your first 3 deposits. You know, right at BetUS where the game begins. Gonna put a bid on how many snaps goddamn Steven Nelson gonna take. Um
Oh, you mean the Super Bowl?
take the under. It's at 0, so take the under.
Mm. I
So
think he's on the practice squad, right? Mm.
so all in all, man.
he
Hey,
gonna be at HEB too.
y'all have a good night and let's pray for the best with Nick Cayley and we here. We swarming, baby.
Hey,
See
roll up
y'all
the
when we see y'all.
H's.
Peace.
Good night.
Peace.